First, they took my name. Then, they took my life. Now, I'm just a designation, Ghost 4. I'm the man they send to bury secrets in the dark. So when they sent me to Siberia back in December of '94 to erase a problem, well, they had no idea they were sending me to face the very man who taught me how to be a ghost in the first place.
Yeah, that's what they told me. A simple cleanup. Just another job. Find some private military contractors who'd gone dark, sanitize the whole scene, and just melt back into the shadows. But out here, in this howling, empty part of Siberia, simple is a lie you tell yourself right before you die.
On paper, the mission brief looked almost clinical. A team of mercenaries pretending to be investors had vanished near some old, decommissioned Soviet research bunker. My directive? It was absolute. Make sure that whatever they found, and whoever found them, was completely and utterly wiped from existence.
Object 702. Such a sterile code for a place of forgotten sins, buried deep under the permafrost. This whole operation was off the books, unsanctioned, untraceable. Just like me. Another state-sponsored secret for the ice to keep. The official record would just show a blank page, because officially, I was never there.
Let me tell you something about this kind of cold. It's not just weather, it's a predator. It seeps right through your gear, turns the steel of your rifle into a brand of solid ice against your cheek. But the silence, the silence is so much worse. It's this heavy, physical thing that presses in on you, makes the crunch of your own boots sound like a gunshot. It's a silence that's actively listening for you.
Their bodies weren't just corpses, they were a message. Kill zones were perfectly set up, entry and exit wounds surgically precise. This wasn't some messy firefight. This was a clinical, brutal dissection, a lesson in lethal geometry taught by a true master. Someone who moves like a phantom and kills without a whisper. Someone like me.
See, back in 1988, the state held my funeral. They burned my service records, deleted my entire history, and created Ghost 4. I became their instrument, a phantom that only exists in the shadows they cast. My whole purpose is to be the final word in their darkest secrets. It's the only life I have, and, well, it's my curse.
As I was examining the scene, this dread, something colder than the Siberian air itself, just coiled in my gut. I had seen this kind of brutal artistry before. Only once, actually, on the training grounds, where I was forged into the weapon I am today. And there was only one man who taught this way.
Every little detail just screamed his name. The specific diamond knot on a tripwire, the precise angle of a knife cut across a sentry's throat. It was his doctrine, his philosophy of violence. It was completely unmistakable. And totally impossible, because the man responsible, he was supposed to be long dead.
Colonel Volkov, the architect of the Ghost program, the man who made me. The same organization I serve left him to die during the fall of the wall. But he didn't die, no. He endured. He waited. And now, these dead mercenaries, they were nothing more than bait on a hook, designed to lure one of his own creations back into the darkness, to lure me.
So you see, we were both ghosts of 1988, forged and then thrown away by the same masters. For 6 long years, he just festered in this frozen tomb, planning his revenge. My mission wasn't a cleanup anymore, not by a long shot. It was a reckoning.
I went down into the black throat of Object 702. The cold outside, it was clean, sterile, but down here, it was stale. It tasted of rust and decay. The hunt was on. But for the first time in a very long time, I honestly didn't know if I was the hunter or the prey.
In this concrete maze, we were equals. 2 shadows armed with the exact same tools, trained in the exact same deadly arts. The only sounds were the slow drip of melting frost and the ragged pulse just hammering in my ears. This wasn't going to be a battle of bullets. It was going to be a contest of silence, nerve, and steel.
I flicked on my NVGs. The world just dissolved into this eerie, predatory green. And that's when I saw it, a flicker of movement at the far end of a corridor. It wasn't a rush, just a slow, deliberate shift. Oh, he knew I was here. He wasn't hiding, he was inviting me to a dance he taught me all the steps to.
I held my breath, trying to become just another shadow in a hall full of them.
The air in my lungs burned, but that plume of vapor that bloomed with every single exhale, it was a beacon. Every nerve ending was on fire. I couldn't see him, but I could feel his presence, like a predator's pressure in the dead air. He came out of my left, a blade just whispering past my ear. I twisted away on pure instinct, an evasion that he himself had drilled into me 1,000 times on some dusty training mat. Every parry, every countermove, it was a memory. I was fighting my own reflection in a cracked, merciless mirror.
We broke apart, circling each other in the gloom. I saw his face in the green ghost light of the NVGs. He was older, scarred, but his eyes, they were the same. The eyes of the master who created me. And in that one instant, the mission, the objective, the organization, it all just dissolved into nothing.
He didn't speak, but the question just hung there between us, sharper than any blade. Do I kill the only man who ever truly understood what I am, all for the sake of the bureaucrats who threw us both away? Or do I stand with him against them? Down in this tomb of secrets, who was the real enemy? A choice was made. It wasn't answered with words, but with a final, desperate act of violence that shattered the bunker's long silence. I did what I was trained to do. I completed the mission. I erased the problem. All of it. That year, 2 ghosts went to war in a place that didn't exist. In the end, one of them walked out. Or maybe neither of them did. Maybe we both stayed there, buried under the weight of our shared past. The organization got its clean slate. The official story was so neat, so tidy and bloodless. A minor seismic event. The bunker, Volkov, the mercenaries, the truth, all of it buried under thousands of tons of rock and ice. Problem erased. They think they buried their secrets in that bunker. But here's the thing. A ghost can't be killed. It can only change its shape. So the real question isn't what happened down there in the dark. It's which ghost walked out into the cold. The student or the master? And who will it come for next?